Ian here. So a coworker brought in this large, old cast iron Chinese Lark lock that they use for their, they got from like a ham radio swap meet, and asked me to take a look at it to see if this bypass that I showed them would work. Now, some of you may remember the bypass for the American and Avis and a few others, where you take this bypass tool and you go all the way to the back and you interface with the shackle and you move the pawl out of the way and it opens right up. This one has this interesting kind of problem with it, or actually feature really, where it's huge. I mean, you can see next to the size of the Peterson pick here, which was a wonderful gift from a friend from the holidays. So these Peterson picks, this is a beast. This is a massive lock. It's cast iron, so I would think destructive entry would be pretty easy to shatter this, but we don't want to do destructive entry. So again, we've got this this bypass tool, and it's just too short to go all the way back to reach this shackle. So this standard bypass tool, kind of interesting in that even somebody like me who has these, it has a nice threat model to it, and that it's so big that a lot of standard tools that people would use for bypass don't work. But because of its age, it has a different issue, which is core shimming. So you'll notice here I actually have already done this, in which you have these core shims, and right at the shear line where the key pin and the driver pin separate so you can turn the lock, you can use these thin pieces of metal called core shim. And essentially what you're doing is you're sliding this core shim in between the lock body and the core, and you're sliding it in, and when you hit the first available pin, essentially you take your pick and you lift your pins up until you feel the shim go in between them, and essentially slide through. You lift each pin up until you feel it go in between, slide through until you're all the way to the other side. Now, this generally doesn't work on newer locks that have some sort of ring around the outside, or inside the lock body have a ring that basically stops this shimming technique. But on this particular lock, it certainly does not. So at this point, what I'm going to do, I was looking forward to this as I went through and did this core shimming, which again doesn't really work on a lot of modern locks, but on this nice old beast here, looks like it's going to work. So we're going to go through and open it up. Come on, you, and there it goes. So nice and open, just like that. And again, what you do is you take the core shim, put it in. If you don't have that ring around there, as you feel pushing down, you lift up with the pin. Where'd my pick go? There we go. We lift up with the pin. As soon as you feel that shim go between the key pin and the driver pin, you go down again, lifting up until you feel it go in, and keep pushing down until you're all the way in. So fun little bypass on an old lock using a core shim. Great. Hope you liked it.